The barren plain symbolizes the emptiness and unknown nature of existence after death. Its vastness represents the limitless and eternal aspect of the afterlife. The distant throne signifies the presence of divine judgment or a higher power. The radiating light from the throne suggests hope, guidance, or revelation in the afterlife. The scene is set from the throne's point of view, establishing a position of authority. Countless souls are visualized, symbolizing the vastness of lives to be judged. Each soul represents a life lived, filled with individual choices and actions. The approaching souls create a sense of anticipation for the impending judgment. This sets the stage for a profound evaluation of each soul's earthly existence. The initial question, "What did you do with my son?" is visually presented. This question is designed to prompt introspection and reflection. It encourages consideration of one's actions and their impact. The question serves as a starting point for exploring personal responsibility. It also introduces the theme of a personal relationship with Jesus. The visual representation emphasizes the importance of this initial inquiry. A symbolic heart is presented as an offering. This offering represents the act of surrendering one's life. The surrender is made to Jesus. Light emanating from the heart signifies acceptance. This acceptance leads to salvation. The scene depicts various acts of kindness and charity, representing good deeds. These actions, though positive, are presented as insufficient for achieving atonement. The visual underscores the limitation of human effort in addressing deeper spiritual needs. The emphasis is on the idea that good deeds alone are inadequate for complete redemption. Religious activities, such as church attendance, are often seen as indicators of faith. Ministry service is another common expression of religious involvement. However, these activities can be separate from a genuine personal relationship. Knowing about Jesus is different from truly knowing him personally. A true relationship involves more than just external religious practices. Surrendering one's heart implies a deep act of faith and vulnerability. Light, enveloping them, symbolizes acceptance and divine grace. This light represents the eternal joy and peace received through faith. The emphasis is on the transformative power of grace obtained by those who believe. A symbolic door of mercy remains perpetually open. This symbolizes an ongoing invitation to turn towards Jesus. It represents an opportunity for those who have made mistakes or faltered. Grace is offered as a means of redemption and forgiveness. This offer of grace extends to all, regardless of the nature of their errors. The open door signifies unending compassion and acceptance. Stewardship involves the responsible management of resources. It addresses the question of how we utilize what we have been given. This includes talents, gifts, and opportunities. Effective stewardship requires careful consideration and purposeful action. It emphasizes accountability for the use of these resources. The core question is, what did you do with what I gave you? The act of planting seeds represents the initial investment and nurturing of potential. Seeds symbolize the inherent gifts, talents, and opportunities given to individuals. Flourishing seeds represent the successful development and utilization of these gifts. Neglected seeds illustrate the consequences of ignoring or failing to cultivate one's potential. The visual contrast between flourishing and neglected seeds highlights the impact of choices and actions. This metaphor emphasizes the importance of actively nurturing and developing one's abilities. Faithful investment in one's gifts leads to their multiplication. This multiplication results in the production of fruit for the kingdom. Dedication and effort are key to this process of multiplication. The visual representation emphasizes the impact of consistent dedication. Investing gifts wisely yields significant returns in the spiritual realm. The parable addresses the theme of individuals burying their talents. This burying often stems from fear, a lack of confidence, or simple laziness. The act of burying talents results in a failure to develop or utilize one's potential. Consequently, no productive outcome or fruit is generated from the unused talent. The parable serves as a visual representation of wasted potential and missed opportunities in life. The evaluation of actions often centers on the underlying intention. Sincerity and dedication are valued more than mere outward performance. Even small efforts are significant when motivated by faithfulness. The focus is on the heart's disposition rather than the magnitude of the act. True value lies in the spirit in which actions are carried out. This perspective celebrates genuine intention above superficial achievement. Focusing on personal gain rather than the mission can lead to exposure. True impact originates from a willing heart dedicated to the mission. A grand platform alone does not guarantee meaningful contributions. Prioritizing the mission fosters genuine and lasting influence. Willingness to serve is more vital than seeking personal advancement. The question, "How did you treat my little ones?" emphasizes the importance of compassion. It highlights the need for love and care towards vulnerable individuals. This reflects a moral responsibility to protect and support those in need. Treating others with kindness is presented as a critical measure of one's character. Jesus identifies with individuals in vulnerable situations. These include the broken, forgotten, orphans, and widows. He also identifies with immigrants, prisoners, the sick, and the rejected. Ignoring these vulnerable groups is equivalent to ignoring Jesus himself. Acts of service represent tangible expressions of care and support. These actions are directed toward vulnerable individuals. Such acts are portrayed as demonstrations of love. These acts of service are equated to acts of love toward Jesus. True love is characterized as costly, requiring significant sacrifice. It is also active, demanding genuine compassion and selfless service. This love mirrors a higher ideal, reflecting divine qualities. Sacrifice is a key element, indicating a willingness to give up personal comforts. Selfless service is another vital component, focusing on the needs of others. The visual representation emphasizes these aspects, portraying acts of giving and care. Indifference to suffering creates a separation. This separation is portrayed as distance from Jesus. Neglecting the vulnerable has consequences. The visual emphasizes the impact of inaction. Empathy and action are presented as essential. The concept of division transcends conventional metrics of worldly status. Earthly success does not factor into this particular form of categorization. Instead, the basis for division rests solely on a profound measure. This measure is defined by the presence and extent of love. Therefore, compassion becomes the key determining factor. The emphasis is placed on the importance of showing empathy and care. The scene depicts a solitary figure in a desolate landscape. This setting symbolizes the emptiness and challenges of human existence. The man's reflection prompts introspection on life's fundamental questions. Viewers are encouraged to examine their own lives and search for meaning. Self-examination involves introspective reflection on one's spiritual condition. It includes assessing whether one has genuinely embraced Jesus Christ. Another aspect is evaluating the degree to which one's life is surrendered to divine will. Faithful stewardship of one's talents and resources is also a key consideration. Finally, it requires examining one's love and care for others, especially those in need. The concept of the door of mercy symbolizes an ever-present opportunity. This opportunity is for personal transformation and redemption. It suggests that individuals can always seek a path to positive change. The concept emphasizes the availability of grace. Grace is presented as a force more powerful than guilt or past mistakes. It's always possible to start anew, regardless of past circumstances. A fresh start can lead to a life transformation. This transformation has lasting, even eternal, significance. The visual emphasizes the potential for a completely changed life. The radiant throne symbolizes the potential for eternal life. This promise is available to those who respond with faith. Stewardship is another key element in attaining this reward. Love is also essential for those seeking eternal life. Therefore, faith, stewardship, and love are the pathways to the radiant throne's promise.